Hello. You probably are saying to yourself, what did I sign up for? British literature? How did I end up in a class where I have to read a whole lot of old authors? How is this even going to be okay? I had summer plans, you're saying to yourself. I was thinking I was going to go windsurfing. Something like that, maybe. Well, I'm not going to interfere with your windsurfing plans in this class, but I am going to tell you why I'm very glad you're here. Welcome. My name is Anne Babson. I'm teaching you British literature, not because it's the only job that they would ever allow me to have in this economy, but because I think this is one of the most interesting and exciting topics that we could possibly explore as we try to understand where our language came from and why we think the way we do in Western civilization. The English wrote amazing things for the last 1,000 years in order to help us understand what it means to be human. The questions that you ask yourself sometimes about why am I here? What am I supposed to even be doing? Why is it that love hurts? Why is it that she broke up with me? Why won't she go out with me? All of these questions are actually really old questions. And while you really don't want to talk to your mother about half of them, I promise you, your ancient linguistic ancestor, whatever your national heritage is, in English has something to say about stuff like breakups, pain of love, jealousy, haters, war, ghosts, scary stuff. Why am I here? Why am I alive? Why do people die? All of the things that make us human are in these pages we're going to read. And I promise you, they are filled with blood and sweat and tears and fire. And that's why I'm teaching you this class. It's what makes us human. That's why we call this course part of the humanities. It's very good to go to Southeastern and to learn a few things like, how can I be the best possible OSHA quality inspector that I can be? That's wonderful. And we need good OSHA inspectors. But we also first need to be good, educated, thinking human beings so that our world remains free and powerful and delightful. And I promise you that you will not necessarily love every single thing we read in this class, but I know that you will love some of it and that you will learn from all of it. You truly will. So I am thrilled you're here. I know you may be still on the fence. You may be saying, this is so much less fun than windsurfing watching this video. But I promise you that I am passionately convinced that this is worth your time. Now that I've given you my preaching, I'm taking away the pulpit and I want to talk to you about the logistics of this course. This is an online course, which means that we won't be having face-to-face lecture courses, but if you need to talk to me, I'm going to keep office hours once a week, Monday from 10 to 12 in D. Vickers Hall. The information's on the website. If you want to see me then, you have to make an appointment in advance via email. If you need to reach me, the fastest way by far is via email. If you leave me a message on my Southeastern Louisiana University phone, it may take me a number of days before I even know you called. So don't knock the 21st century technology before us of email. Use that. I will respond. In this class, you're going to be evaluated for grading on the following kinds of work. There is a lot of readings because I understand we have to condense a whole semester into just a few weeks. I have made these readings often rather short, even though they are just as numerous and challenging as if they were longer works. You will have lots of readings to do, and twice a week you will have to turn in answers to discussion forums for me, which is basically my way of seeing how you have understood what you have read. But it's not just me that you're having the conversation with. Even though we don't have a classroom, what we have in fact is a virtual space in which you can interact with other people. And I need you not just to respond to my question, but to respond to the comments that other students have made. I will be grading you on that. In fact, the totality of the forums is the lion's share of the grades. It's the biggest chunk of the grades in this class. So participation in these matters. Each one is not worth a lot of points, but the collective sum of them really is. You will also have a midterm exam and a final exam. You will also write me 2 short papers in MLA format. If you feel terribly challenged by MLA format, you can talk to the Writing Center. You may recall that when you took English 101 and 102, you had something called the Little Brown Handbook. You can get help through that. Also, our library is fantastic at helping students deal with MLA. And I will give students questions that have to do with the reading, and I will give you specific instructions that you will be able to see. One of the other things, though, other than the readings, I will never be able to test you if you have watched my kooky videos. And some of them are going to be very serious, and others of them are going to be a little funny, like this one. But I've put video content up on this class because I really think it will help you succeed at the things that you'll be graded on. I'll never really pay that much attention to whether students have actually watched the video, but it will be pretty clear to me if I have given a lecture on a video, if you have watched it, because the thing that you present to me about the reading will in some way be informed by my lecture, or it won't. And my advice to you is to watch all the videos. It's the least painful way to get a whole lot of information in a class like this. Also, you know, I'm not the most boring person you've ever seen on video. I might be the 10th most boring, but I am too weird for you to quite turn away at this point. And I promise to remain either funny or weird, and you can decide which one I am by the end of the semester. I think I'm hilarious. I think I'm funny AF. But you're free not to agree with that. But nevertheless, I promise to bring energy and complexity into the things I say. And I have always learned best with a little bit of humor, especially when I'm isolated and I'm trying to understand something that's different than what I already know. If someone can make me laugh, I relax and I do a little better. That's one of the reasons why I tell jokes on videos. But it's also that I think it's just part of the way that I understand the world. If you have questions, I will gladly answer your emails, but please, before you ask questions, do read over the introductory materials near this video. I have the syllabus online, and I have course policies online in this section of the class, and you will see that all the tabs on Moodle are divided by weeks. And those weeks indicate which week we're in and what you need to do that week for the course. There are deadlines in this course, but you have a lot of flexibility in terms of when you get something done within the space of the deadline, because you don't have to meet me face to face. So if you, for instance, work late at night, or you have 3 children that you're watching while you take this class, you can stop everything for 5 minutes and change somebody's diaper if you need to and come back to it. But note that the deadlines are pretty rock solid. You would have to, for a lot of these deadlines, have something insane happen to you, like God forbid you end up in the hospital, or suddenly a SWAT team appears at your door and due to a case of mistaken identity, they arrest you as one of the most wanted criminals on earth. I will need documentation for why you couldn't then turn in whatever it was that I expected you to turn in of that nature. Wow, man, I forgot won't do. Please just do the work. But you have some flexibility. Also, I imagine that some of these readings are going to be slightly confusing because I'm actually asking you to imagine the world at a different time than the one you are living in right now. Because everything that's written by the British that we're going to read is in part of a cultural context that has a historical and cultural centering which is not our own. I will do lectures on those things. Again, I would at this point in a classroom say, does anyone have any questions? But the truth is that the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is read my syllabus carefully and then send me your questions, and I will gladly answer them. Thank you very much.